Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Be Honest podcast. Today I have Kaisa. She is known on social media for her travel and cute relationship content. Her and her girlfriend are always traveling, trying new hobbies, foods, and just staying busy. I want your life, and you're gonna have to tell me like the secrets of like having your life. I mean, obviously, I know there was like hard work that was put into it, obviously, but you have to literally let me know how to have your life. I'm being so serious. I want it. But yeah, I'm excited to jump into it. So, everyone, welcome Kaisa. I want to kind of know about your background. So, on the phone, you told me you were I can never say this word. I don't know why. Norwegian?
Norwegian, yeah.
Okay. So, did you grow up there, or like tell me the background?
Yeah. So I grew up in Norway, in the middle of the country, in a city called Trondheim. Yeah, and that's pretty much. I've never moved, lived in the same house my whole life.
Oh,
Um, and yeah, so that's maybe why I'm traveling so much. I've been the same place, and I love it, but it's like so nice to come back. But I love traveling
yeah.
as
No, I get
well.
that. You've lived in the same place, but you're like, I love it here, but I want to get out and explore the world.
Yeah, yeah.
Makes sense. I get it. Okay, so did you go to college, or if not, what did you do instead?
Yeah. So that's a funny story. So when I was 16, I actually moved to Australia. So I've not lived in that town my whole life. So I moved to
Oh,
Australia for school when I was 16 and did like an exchange year. So I was there for a year. And then I moved back home. And then I finished high school. And then I went to the military. It's mandatory in Norway. So I know it sounds crazy. Everyone's like, what? And I'm like, no, totally normal. And just the average, like everyone has to go if they're picked.
oh. So
Yeah.
it's okay. The sounds in the background, don't worry about it. If you're picked, so is it mandatory for everyone, or is it just like if you're picked, you have to go?
Yeah, it's kind of like you have to do this form to start off with, and they select you from that. And then they do the tests. And if you picked out from that again, you have to go. And you can try lying. You can say, oh, I've done this, I've done that. My foot hurts, whatever. But
Yeah.
if they feel like you're lying, they're going to pick you anyways. So it's like mandatory. There's no way out of it if you got picked. That's how.
Wow. Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't know that it was mandatory.
Yeah,
So, gosh,
such a good experience. I loved it. It was so cool. Yeah.
yeah, I saw on your Instagram because, of course, I have to do my research, not like in a weird way, but I saw that you were in the Navy. So, were you able to choose like what branch, or did they just throw you in?
You can have a say. So like they might not listen to you at all, but you can say, "Oh, I prefer this. I prefer that. That's what I like." And they can see what spots they have, and you get sent somewhere. And I got the Navy, and it was super cool. I got to travel a lot. I was on a boat. I did it all. It was so cool. Made so many friends. It's just such a great experience that like really helps you grow. And I feel like everyone should do it if they can. So yeah, yeah.
That's so interesting. I love that. So, you had a good experience in the Navy.
Yeah, I loved it. It was so cool. And yeah, after the Navy, I actually moved back to Australia because I was like, oh, I loved it so much. So I moved back and I worked. So yeah, that's kind of the background. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. That's cool. So, okay, so you didn't stay in Norway. You kind of branched out to Australia, and then you joined the Navy after moving to Australia, but it was the Norway
yeah, because
military.
I did like a year of high school exchange, moved back to Norway, finished high school, Navy, moved back again to Australia because I was like, oh, I'm not done. And then I moved back home eventually. So a big,
Gotcha.
yeah.
It's okay. I love that. Okay. That is really interesting. Wow. Learn something new every day. I did not know it was mandatory.
Oh.
Okay. Well, that's a cool background. So, after the Navy, and we'll probably get into this, later, but after the Navy, you said you moved back, right? Am I hearing this correctly? Just making
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, you hear me? Yeah, I moved back to Australia and I was there just to
Yeah.
work and hang out with my friends, really.
Okay. And then what did you do after the Navy? Like work-wise?
Oh my God. Yeah, that's so a funny thing because when you move to Australia, you like I kind of want to try new things, and I was like, what should I do for work? And I mean, there's so many opportunities there, but there's also a lot of people that want to work in Australia, so it made it kind of hard getting like the perfect job. So I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm gonna just do whatever comes my way. So I did, like, I worked at a restaurant, I worked at a coffee shop, I cleaned mansions, like big ass houses. That was insane. Like I cleaned,
Okay.
and then I modeled for some random brands. It was like very interesting. It was like I did not do one single job. I just kept bouncing around because it was so much fun. So yeah, and then I traveled a bit in between as well when I was there.
I was
So
about to say having those types of jobs probably also gave you a lot of freedom to be able to go and explore because it's not like a job where you have to take like PTO, you know, like part-time off or I don't know how it is over in Australia and stuff like that. Do you guys have PTO?
oh, no, but I wasn't like no, I could like just choose my hours. It was really
Yeah.
easy. That's why I kind of choose to do it that way. And obviously getting one stable job would probably be cool, but I was like, no, I just want to try everything while I
Yeah.
can. And so I was just bouncing around and getting opportunities, and I was like, yeah, I'll do it. I'll try.
Period. I love that. That's cool. I love that. Was there ever like a specific career that like you ever wanted? Like was is there still one to this day where you're like, "Oh, I wish I would have like done that," or are you just like, "No, like I'm happy."
Yeah. When I was a kid, I said I was going to be famous, and I forgot all about that until now. Mom just told me, and I was like, "What?" But in between the whole, when I was 4 and wanted to be famous for some reason, um, I really wanted to be like a therapist, kind of like in that field, somewhere
Mhm.
around that, because I think that's very interesting, and I've always loved that topic. So I kind of wanted to do that. And you asked me if I did go to college, and I did not finish. I didn't answer your question, but what I ended up doing was, um, so I moved back from Australia eventually because I met my girlfriend.
Mhm.
And, then I realized, oh, I traveled and la la la, and I feel like everyone started studying. So I was like, oh shit, maybe I should start studying as well. Um, and then I was like, oh shit, I don't really want to do that, but maybe I should. So I applied to lots of different schools, and I was like, oh, this one online thing sounds good. I can travel, I can study. So I got in, I started, and I was like, I don't like this at all. Like, I don't like it. And not because I love school, like, I love learning, but I was like, I'm not doing it for the right reasons. I'm not doing it for me. I don't know what I'm doing it for, but I was like, I think I just wanted to say, yeah, study. Like, I go to
Yeah.
college. Like, I have my life together. So I did it for that reason. So it was like I don't know, I did like half a year, and then I was like, I'm not, I'm not happy doing this. It's taking my time that I don't want to spend on it. I don't really care. And to be
Yeah.
honest, who cares if I study or not?
Yeah.
It's like me. So I dropped out. So I'm like, I'm about to say I dropped out because it was like, it was not, I'm not saying I'm not going to go to uni ever, but it wasn't the right time. It was not the right subject I did. And it felt right to just drop out.
Yeah. Yeah, you felt like you needed to do it because it was like the norm. And you eventually started doing it online and you were like, why am I doing this? Like, who cares if it's the norm? It's not for me. I'm
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. And totally. And then I realized I could do other things that fulfilled me so much more that I just really loved. And I was like, I'm spending so much time doing this half-assed, and I hate doing things not wholeheartedly. So I was like, why am I doing this? It doesn't feel right. And like I could brag, I was like, oh, I got whatever an A or B on like one of my exams. And mom was like, great. And I was like, but I hate it. Like it sucks. Like I didn't even try. Like I legit just I'm doing it to say I'm doing it, not because
Mhm.
I'm doing it. So yeah,
Yeah,
I'm happy
no.
to just drop
I feel
out.
like I feel like a lot of people do that because like I have friends that and is uni the same thing as college? Do you guys just call it uni?
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
It's the same.
I have friends here that went to college and they went to college because their parents wanted them to, you know? Like it's like, "Hey, we went to college, you need to go to college." And they ended up like dropping out as well. They're like, "I don't like this, you know? Like this is not for me. Like I don't want to do this anymore." And of course, I have the friends that like they wanted to specifically be something when they're older and so they have to go to
Yeah.
college, you know what I mean? But no, I feel like that's very common. People going and spending a shit ton of money on college and then them not really even wanting to do it because it's just someone's pushing it on them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. And I worked so hard in high school. Like I have good grades. Like I really wanted, like I loved school, and I was like I did my best, and I feel like kind of a waste not using the grades to get into like a good school or do something good with it. But I'm like, still have time later in life if I want to, and like that's not a good enough reason to do
Yeah.
it. Like
Yeah.
at all. So yeah. I feel like I would never picture myself saying this and I dropped that and all that. So it's kind of like weird for me to be in this position. But I'm proud to say that I like actually did
Yeah.
something I dreamed of instead of like just doing what everyone else is doing. So yeah.
And the word dropping out has such a bad connotation. Like dropping out, like you said, you dropped out to do something that you loved and like that's fine. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I don't know. Cuz like for example, my friends, they hate talking about how they dropped out as well and I'm like, but it just wasn't for you. Like
I
college
mean,
isn't for everyone. So like don't be upset that you didn't enjoy your experience or that you didn't want to finish. Like you know what I mean? Like let's not put so much pressure on ourselves. Like it's okay.
yeah, I agree.
Love that. Okay. We're going I can talk about university, college, like the schooling system here in America forever and I will talk your ear off, so we need to move on. Okay, so we're going to jump into your sexuality. Okay, are you ready?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. So, big question. When did you know you were gay?
Yeah. I was actually walking on the beach this morning and I was reading through your questions and I
Mhm.
was like, this is like not an easy answer. Like there's a whole story, but I actually grew up with two moms. They're lesbian, they're married, they're the cutest. I love them.
Period.
But for me, it was really like that stood out to everyone. Like I got picked up from school. Everyone's like, "Where's your dad?" And like, you don't have a dad, and I'm a donor kid, so I haven't known dad. So, but I don't mind. Like I think that's great. That's awesome. Like I don't
Mhm.
really care at all. And funny, and I just like really had this feeling when I was a kid that I was different, like in that sense. And it didn't really bother me at all, but people would asking questions and like it was a lot. And I made my mom come in to class and be like, sit down, do a Q&A. Everyone's just like asking questions and be like, just don't ask Kaisa any more questions. Like she's tired, she just want to play, she just want to answer where you're at, blah blah blah. So mom did that. It was great and all that. But I still had this like feeling that I didn't want anyone to think I was gay because my parents were gay. I was like, no, you know what? I actually somehow I have no clue how this all came together, but I apparently read this study, or someone told me about this study that was saying like you're less likely to be gay if your parents are. Don't
Hmm.
even check me on that because I have no clue where that comes from at all. Like I just consumed that information and I was like, oh, great, I can say that to everyone. So I was like going around being like, you know what, it's a really funny story, but you know, if you have gay parents, you're less likely to be gay yourself. And everyone's like, oh, okay, whatever. Like, why would you say that? And I was like, yeah, I have gay parents, but like, I would less likely be gay than you. Like, I'm going around yap about that, and people are like, okay,
People
Kaisa,
are like, "I don't care. Why are you telling me this?"
why are you telling me? And I was so scared of people just like assuming I was gay just because my parents were, because I didn't want to be different. Even though I like love, adore my parents, I'm so proud. Like, I was always proud. I was never ashamed. I just didn't want to be different, and I
Yeah.
just wanted to go about my life. Um, so yeah, that whole thing just like was always there for me. And I
Yeah.
dated my ex-boyfriend for 4 years, and I like looking back at it. Obviously, you can tell that oh maybe this was like a sign or whatever. But I'm
Mhm.
not gonna like spiral into thinking blah blah blah. That was that. It was what it was at the time. And then after the military, we broke up, and good times, nothing wrong. Just like we broke up, and this was right before I moved back to Australia. So then I was like, oh my God, what am I doing with life? Like I'm moving, blah, 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 blah. And then my friend called me from that I met in the military. She was like, do you want to come visit where she studied? And I was like, oh yeah, fun, I'll do that. So I flew down, met her, and there's a long story, but I met her roommate, and one thing led to another, and yeah, that was like my maybe first time I realized for real, because I've
Mm.
always told my close friends like, oh, I'm like open to anything, but not thinking that in a literal sense of like that actually being something, more
Yeah.
than be like, oh yeah, you know, you shouldn't be closed off to anything. So yeah, that's the long story of how I realized, but it wasn't like a overnight thing. It was like, oh,
Yeah.
it was
No,
kind of, it was building up stuff. Yeah,
totally. So it was kind of you kind of you kind of knew, but you didn't want to accept it yet. Like you didn't want to like fully admit that like you were interested in women. So it was just kind of like you were just kind of seeing what could happen, and then you ended up going to your friend's
yeah.
uni, or not uni. Where is she? Military, right? You went and met her.
She was in uni, but I met
Oh,
her in the military, so that's why we were friends.
okay. Would you say that that experience with the roommate was like, oh, okay, yeah, like I'm definitely gay.
Yeah, like I feel like the funny thing was, um, I was like, where am I? When am I freaking out? That was my thought. I was like, um, I'm gonna freak out soon. Like, what did I do? What happened? And I was like, oh my god. And I went in the shower and I was like, oh my god, I'm literally. Why am I not freaking out? Why is this like feeling like the puzzle pieces came together? Like, why am I so chill? Like, I
Hmm.
was like, I was just waiting for myself to be like losing it, but I was like,
Hmm.
this is totally normal. I'm happy. Like, I was just smiling. I was like, I should be stressed out because like, what the fuck just happened? But I was like, oh my god. And then I feel like that made me realize like, oh, maybe that was it. Maybe that's right, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I get that. I feel like everyone has that one experience where they're like they kind of always knew, but then once it happens, they're like, okay, like now it's starting to make sense. You know what I mean?
Definitely, yeah.
Okay, so when you ended up having that experience, and then when did you like fully come out to like the people around you?
So also funny thing because like I feel like no one needs or should need to come out. Like that's my like
100%. I agree.
I just wish no one needed to come out.
Mhm.
First of all, but then for me, obviously, gay parents. So that means that my community should be pretty accepting. So I was like, what do I do now? And I flew back home and I came home and I was like unpacking and I was like smiling ear to ear. And mom was like, oh, did you have a good weekend? And I was like, oh yeah, it was great. And like, she's like, oh, sit down, tell me about it. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, how do I like leave this out of the story? So it's like telling the story. I was like, oh, we did go here. We like went to the beach, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, oh yeah, but you, a part of the story is missing. Like you're smiling and like, what is it? You can't be that happy about going to the
Yeah.
beach or whatever. And I was like, oh shit, like, and I can't lie. Like, no chance, I can't lie. Like, if you know me, you know, you can look at me and you can be like, Kaisa, you're lying. This
Yeah.
tells it. So I was like, holy shit, like, I just can't. And then I just said to her, like, oh yeah. And I met this girl, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, obviously my mom's gay. So she's like, okay, cool. Like, that's
Yeah.
fine. She gave me a hug and she was like, oh, I'm glad you enjoyed your week. And I was like, yeah, cool. I was like, oh my god. And then later I invited my friends over because I apparently was such in a good mood. So I was like, oh, let's all come to my house. And then everyone was just talking about their weekends, and I was like, oh yeah. And then I just told them, and it's like it shouldn't be a big deal, and it wasn't, but it's still like, oh my god, I
Yeah.
just everyone something I didn't expect I was gonna tell anyone because I didn't realize what was happening. But yeah, so that was how I
You
came
know,
out, did that, just told people.
I
Yeah,
love I love that you have gay parents, obviously, because it makes the coming out process much easier. And I totally agree with you when like I think one of my hot takes, I think it was the episode before this, my hot take was literally it should be normalized when people don't feel the need to come out. Like, there could be multiple different reasons why people don't want to come out, you know, for their safety, they feel like they can't, or they just are like, what's the big deal? Like, why do I need to come out? You know what I mean? So I agree with that. But it's also unfortunate because people feel the need to, because it's not completely normalized in a bunch of
So yeah,
areas.
I agree because like I get it. People still have to do it. That's the sad part. I'm not saying
Mhm.
like, oh my god, don't do it.
Yeah.
Really do it. That's great. Like tell people,
Yeah.
normalize it. But I feel like it's so sad that you have to go out of your way and be like, oh, this is different about me. Because
Yeah.
I just said like, as I could say like, oh, I met this boy, and it would be the same. Like
Exactly.
so that was amazing. But yeah.
Yeah, I can talk about this forever, but yeah, it's like, why is me liking the same sex, the same gender, why is that so different? Like, why does that have to be like this big coming out thing? And it's like, again, some people want to have big coming out stories, and that's amazing, but it is unfortunate that like we have to. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I
So,
agree. Totally. Yeah.
yeah. It's we're in a shitty world, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so my next question was, did you have support? But obviously you did. Did you have like anyone in your circle that did not support you, or you kind of got like a weird vibe from them?
Mm. I don't know. I frequently moved to Australia after all this happened,
Okay.
and still everyone's supportive. Everyone was great, but I mean, like at home, I was sure everyone obviously was supportive. I don't know, maybe my grandpa, but he died just like right after. Like he died like right after that. So I
Yeah.
don't know. But everyone in like my circle, luckily, because they know my parents. Most likely, they know my parents. They should be
Yeah.
supportive. So makes it easier.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, totally. Okay, yeah, my it's funny. My grandparents, well, it's not funny, it's kind of sad, but I try to make it comical. My grandparents also aren't supportive. So I get it. It's always the older people that don't, just because the generations they grew up in, and it's like you have to give them grace to an extent, but
Minutes.
yeah, it's always the older ones that just they just don't understand what's happening. And I'm like, "Hello, I just have a girlfriend." Like, yeah. Okay, so how did you meet your girlfriend?
Yeah. Okay. This is also. I hate to be like, oh, this is also a long story, but it is kind of.
No,
But
tell us. Tell us the story. Yeah.
yeah, when I was in the military, my kind of like job was like welcoming recruits and like taking care of them, making sure everyone was okay. I also did like kind of like traveling the political side of things. Anyways, I used to hold this like briefings when people uh came into like their two first months of the military. That you do like the pre kind of like camp, whatever. And yeah, I did the briefings there. And my girlfriend was in one of those briefings. Like I was speaking to her group, and yeah, but I didn't know of her. Kind of like that was the first time she saw me. I obviously was just looking at 100 people, so
Yeah.
I didn't see her. But yeah, anyways, and I was dating my ex boyfriend at the time. She was dating someone else, so yeah, that was just like the first time we met without meeting, and then I moved to Australia, as I said, 100 times. And anyways, one night, because I lived in a small surf town in Australia, so I mean, there was not that many options. So I was like scrolling on my phone on Hinge, and I was like, oh my god, I'm just a bit bored. So I moved my location, as you can do, and
Yeah.
also back home to also like to Norway, and I was like, oh, just for fun. So it's like swiping through, and I was like, I'm not gonna like anyone because that would just like I'm on the other side of the world, like that would just be messy. So I like click like not on everyone, just like swiping just for fun, just to see, and then I changed my location back, and and then suddenly, like, I get a notification saying, like, oh, you have a match or whatever they say. And I didn't think anything of it. So I just, like, liked her back or whatever. I don't know how that works now. But yeah, it's a match. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then I, like, scroll through her profile. And I'm like, oh, shit. She doesn't live here. She lives in Norway. And I was like, oh, how did that happen? Like, oh, shit. Like, oh, I didn't mean to do that. And then anyways, we chat a bit. Like, the conversation goes on and we like switched to Instagram, and I was like, oh, this is just gonna be like dab off and like nothing's gonna happen. And then we talk on Instagram for a bit, and then we don't really talk for a few days, and I'm lying by the pool. It's like the middle of the day. That means like midnight in Norway, or I don't know, maybe 3 a.m. And my phone starts ringing, and I'm like, what? Who's calling me now? Like, I'm like, okay. I pick up, and it's like this Instagram thing going, and I'm like, what is this? I answer the call, and it's my now girlfriend being like, hi. And she's on a night out, and she's like, oh, I can't get home, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, like, I don't know how to help you. I'm so sorry. Like, I'm not there to help you. And then we just keep chatting. She's really funny, so she keeps me entertained for a bit, and then her phone dies, and I'm like, oh shit, I hope she got home safe. So my best friend picks me up, and I'm like, oh my god, this girl called me so random, like, and her phone died. I'm like, I'm worried. I don't know if she made it home. And like, but I go about my day, and like, I don't hear from her in like hours and hours, because obviously she was trying to get home, and it was the middle of the night, so yeah. And then after that, we just kept calling each other, like every day, every morning, every night, because it was just like so much fun. And then I was like, but I'm not moving back anytime soon. I'm not like, I don't know. But this was fun. But then my grandpa died, and mom calls me, and she's like, oh, please move back. Please move back. And I'm like, no, I don't really want to. Like, I'm not moving back. I'm so sorry. Like, I don't know, I can fly back for the funeral. But she's like, oh, but I got you a really good job offer as well. Oh, really? And she's like, I'll move the funeral. I'll give you this job. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe I miss home a bit. Like, it's been a long time. So, and then I was like, oh, and I'm calling this girl every night. That seems really nice. So I'm like, it kind of added up to be like, oh, maybe I should do this. So one night I'm like, oh my god, I can't decide. I'm like, oh, I'm booking the flights. The flights are booked. And I'm like, the first person I call is my now girlfriend. And I'm like, oh my god, I booked my flights home. Like, I'm actually moving. And she's like, okay, I'll pick you up at the airport. Never met this girl. I was like,
That's so, it's so gay.
I know. It just had to be. And I'm like, oh my god, you picking me up at the airport? Yeah, like, spend the weekend together. And I'm like, okay. Like, what should I tell my mom? Like, I haven't seen them in ages. I'm moving back, but I'm like, mom, don't pick me up from there. Like, someone else is doing that. I'm like, you can see me after the weekend. And mom's like, what is this? And I'm like, ah. And then, yeah, I moved back. She picked me up. We spent the weekend together. I met her family. I was like, hi, guys.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And then we just been inseparable from that moment. So, yeah.
That is so freaking cute. I mean, like, and imagine if she wouldn't have been like, hey, I'm picking you up at the airport. Like, obviously y'all would probably have hung out since y'all were close, but like, it's just, I think about like how the universe works in like crazy ways. Like, what if she didn't pick you up at the airport? Like, y'all's relationship might not, you know what I mean?
She never called me that one night. Because I would never, ever have like, just a conversation with them. Like, what you talk about things, and then it dabs off because it's like, what more is it to talk about? And I'm on the other side of the world. And yeah, she called that one night just really made the whole difference. And it's so weird to think about now. But I'm grateful for that drunk phone call. So yeah.
It's like everything worked out like perfectly. You know what I mean? Like, this girl lives in Norway. You're in Australia, right? You were in Australia at the time. And then your mom calls, for unfortunate,
Yeah.
but it all worked out.
Yeah, it's so weird, and it's not like everything worked out perfectly, but it worked out in a weird way, but it ended up being perfect. So yeah.
Exactly. That's cute. And how long have y'all been together?
Nearly 2 years.
2 years? Oh, that's so cute. How old are y'all?
I'm 22, and she's 22. We're turning
20.
20.
Gotcha. Oh, y'all are cute. Okay. This is like a random question, but I just wanted to like ask you. What is something interesting about y'all's relationship that people on social media may not know?
We were talking about this, and then I'm like, we're kind of like not. Actually, I was thinking about it. Maybe we're quite private because what we post is like obviously relationship content. It's not like giving away anything.
Yeah.
But maybe the story I just told you was like maybe the first time I actually posted that was I had a Q&A. Oh no, I made a video saying how funny is the butterfly effect, or like how crazy is the butterfly effect? Is what if I never moved across, or like I didn't fly across the world to see her that one weekend. I was saying that, and then some people picked up on it because people were asking me in the Q&A like, "Oh, where were you, and why were we flying across the world to see her?" or something like that. So I mean, and people don't know how we met because I get that question all the time. I'm like, I don't know how to answer without like sitting down, taking an hour, being like, "Oh, this happened and that happened, and my grandpa died," and that, you know. That's like maybe something people actually don't know the whole
Yeah.
story. Yeah.
Well, if they listen to this episode, they'll
Well,
hear.
that's why I was thinking. I'm not gonna answer that question. I might just link this podcast instead.
Yeah. There you go. Just link it and be like, everything you need is in this episode. No, honestly, it is crazy. Now that I'm thinking about it, like you were doing a briefing to like 100 people. She was there.
Yeah.
And then like I'm assuming like you never really like you never saw her again until you were on the dating app and then you saw her. Like what are the chances of that?
You know, it's all just like feels so random but perfect at the same time. I'm like, yeah,
Exactly.
that butterfly effect or whatever.
Yeah.
Apparently,
No,
yeah,
yeah, I believe in it. It's crazy.
it's crazy.
Everything y'all post, girl, like when I tell you you're living my life, like you're living the life that I want. Like you wake up and you're like taking a run on the beach. Like you're waking up and you're surfing. You're waking up and you're eating these fresh foods. It's just like it's just amazing. It's crazy.
Yeah, I still don't really like realize it's real. Like it's still like crazy for me because like year and a half ago, like I could never imagine this being like every day. But it's great. I'm loving it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And you're in Brazil right now, right?
Brazil. Yeah,
And
just
her family lives there, right?
yeah. So she's half Brazilian. Her dad is Brazilian. Her mom is Norwegian. So yeah, people always ask that as well. So, what language are you guys speaking? I'm like, oh, she's Brazilian but half Norwegian. So we speak Norwegian together. And so half her family lives here, and we were here 2 months last year celebrating Christmas, and now we're here for Easter because I hosted a group trip in Panama, and it just worked out perfectly just to go here for Easter. So we just finished Easter lunch, and yeah, I'm just sitting in your family's house in Brazil. So
Yeah,
that's
the
yeah,
food you posted. I saw the food and I was like, "Oh my God, what was in that pumpkin? Was that a pumpkin?
yeah, that was pumpkin.
What
It was
what was
shrimp,
inside of it?"
pumpkin, and I don't even know, some veggies. It was delicious. It was awesome.
You're like, "I don't even know. I just ate it."
Food here, I'm obsessed. Oh yeah, and they chef up like it's insane. They make the best food. I'm so impressed, and I'm so full all the time. But
That's so funny. Is Brazil pretty LGBTQI plus friendly?
it is. It's so crazy, but it's like
Yeah.
the most LGBTQ friendly place I've been. Like,
Mhm.
I'm obviously Norwegian, Scandinavia is pretty good on those terms, but here it's insane. It's so normalized. Like, I'm, I was so shocked when I first like came here because I was like, I mean, they're Christian and people obviously can be like older people can be conservative, but I
Mhm.
mean, most people here is so open minded and it's so normal. Like people don't even look at you. Like me and my girlfriend were like kissing and holding hands on the street. People don't even bother looking at you. Like they're all like we were sitting having dinner at this because we love local food. So that means going to like dolce ass places, like the back street of some random place, and we were sitting having dinner. And there's not like a thought in my mind saying, "Oh my god, someone's gonna do something, someone's gonna look, someone's gonna say something, stare, whatever." No. There's 60-year plus men sitting watching football beside us, and they couldn't even kill us. Like it's so normal. Like they're so friendly, and like I mean, it's almost like, oh my god, I'm not even special. Like you were saying, like people don't even care. It's like it's great, but what? It's like and they have a law against um what is it? It's like you're not allowed to discriminate. I don't know. I don't
Oh.
know the law, but yeah, they have one, and
So
it's
it's
great.
a good law that's saying you can't discriminate against
Yeah.
certain people.
So
Period.
that's great. And every day in Rio is like pride. So
Oh
I
my
think,
God. That's amazing.
yeah,
Obviously, Brazil's like across the freaking country for me, or country, across the world for me. But I've always wanted to go because it seems so beautiful. And like the beaches, they just look amazing. Like, again, everything you post, I'm like, oh my God, that water is like crystal
yeah.
blue. Like it just looks amazing.
Brazil has everything like jungle, beaches. I mean, it's so good. It's so good. And I know also Argentina as well is pretty gay friendly. So I mean, like South America in general has it's really like it's so safe and in that terms. It's funny how it's not safe in other ways, but I
Yeah.
mean, being gay, great. Also, travel to South America. 10 out of 10.
Okay.
Yeah,
Period. Love that. What made you start doing social media? Like, what made you want to start doing it?
that's funny because I think I've always loved posting on Instagram like any other girl in her 20s. Like, I thought it was fun ever since I got Instagram and TikTok and stuff. But I also thought it was like the worst feeling ever. Like, I was so scared of being judged. I
Mhm.
hated, and like, I've always loved photography, like doing videos, all that. But I feel like the shame of like being judged or like thinking you're some cool girl, you know what I mean?
Mhm. Yep.
Anyways, I was like, it made me so anxious just to post a private story on Snapchat. Like I hated it. Like I overthink it, and then I was like scared of being judged, scared of it being like cringy, all that, and that just stuck with me for so many years. And then I met my girlfriend, and she was like totally opposite. She was like, "Oh my god, just post it, like just post it." And I was like, "No, no, no, I'm not posting anything. Like I'm just like once a month I might post on Instagram. Like what do you mean? Like oh, like people are going to judge me. Like I hate that." And then, yeah, we started traveling, and I was like, "Okay, fine, I'll post it. Like, I'll post it to TikTok." It's so crazy. Like, I was like, "No, I hate that." I think I like threw my phone across the room. I was like, "Ah, shit, I'm never doing that again." Like, the response was like great, and I was like, "Oh shit, people like what I post," and I was like, "Oh, okay, I might try again." So I started posting quite often, and because I love like just sharing tips and tricks, and like I wanted people to be able to travel and know that there's actually not that hard. Like you can do it, like most people can. And yeah, so I just wanted to make it more accessible for everyone. And I thought it was great. It was so much fun, and just making travel guides and all that. And their response was always like so much better than I thought. I thought, oh, people are gonna judge me, but people are actually so nice. So
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah, I feel like that holds a lot of people back is the thought of like, oh shit, I'm gonna be judged. But it's like, it's also like, who cares? Like, yes, you might have people that judge you, like that's gonna happen, but it's also like, okay, they judge you, and so what? Like, like continue to make your content because it makes you
why
happy.
not?
You know what I mean? Like, there's always gonna be weird ass people out there that are gonna be judgmental, and you just have to do it. Like before I started my podcast, I was like, oh my god, people back at home are gonna be like, ah, she's starting a podcast, like what a, you know what I mean, trying to be the cool girl, trying to like, that kind of stuff, trying to, I don't know, be the influencer. But it's like, that's not what I'm trying to be. I just want to talk to people, meet new people, and like, of course, if it brings me money or whatever, like that's a plus. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm like I was so scared, and I'm thinking like I there's not a bone in my body that cares if anyone judges. Like I'm just doing what I love, and I love sharing. I love inspiring people. I love to like be a part of this community that I can actually show people that things are possible. And like I would love to have someone that maybe did what I'm doing now when I was growing up to yeah look at and like get inspiration from. So I'm like I don't actually care at all if you judge me, and I'm like so
Yeah.
what? I might die tomorrow, so why not? Like I'm just like my mindset just changed,
Yeah.
and I met so many cool people through this as well, and it's giving me so many cool opportunities. I'm like I'm just so grateful that my girlfriend was like just post it, and she's been there the whole way, and she's like she's my hype woman, and I yeah it's the best thing ever.
Oh, that's so cute. Yeah, having a partner that's supportive is like it changes the game for you. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I get it. There's times whenever I'm like, like I don't know if I should post this or I don't know if I should do this or this person reached out to me like, should I do this with them or whatever? And my partner's always like, yeah, do it. Like this is amazing. This is, and it's always me overthinking, but it's like if I wouldn't have done it, then X, Y, and Z wouldn't have come my way. You know what I mean? So,
I'm just very grateful for having a supportive partner because I was like, I've been there with people that might have been a bit like, oh, really? Are you posting again? And stuff like that. I'm like so happy that I'm like surrounded by like, keep going. This is great. Like, you just like, you're doing what you love doing and you're doing it good. So just keep going. And
yeah.
it's changed everything for me.
Yeah, and
Mm.
your content is like it, and the thing is it's like your content is what is the word? Like people enjoy your content because maybe they're a part of the queer community or maybe they are also traveling but also maybe they just like seeing that all of the places you're going to because maybe unfortunately they can't do that, and so seeing other people doing it like it's like oh my god, like that is so interesting. So like you're just an interesting person. Like not everyone has the life that you have, and so that's why people want to follow you because it's like not everyone can just wake up on the beach or wake up and do this and that, you know what I mean? So it's like I think that's obviously a big thing. But yeah, your content's just awesome. And then of course since you're a part of the community, like that's also a plus, you know? Okay, so is social media like your main source of income?
It is, and it's crazy to say that. I would never think that a year ago that when I just started, but it is, and it's like so cool. I'm like still like people is like, what do you do for work? And I'm like, social media, I think. And
Yeah.
people are like, what? I'm like, I think I do social. I'm like, I, I'm like, I can't even speak, but yeah. And so it's still like unreal for me, but it's so cool, and I've never thought I would get these opportunities that I get, and it is. I just like sometimes I'm like doubt what I'm doing, but I'm like this is happening in a year. Like what can happen? Like it makes me want to keep going, and having a supportive partner and everything just makes everything so much easier. And she's down to do anything. And she's like, yeah, do this, do the podcast, do that, and she's working with me as well. So it's cool. It's so cool. Yeah.
That's awesome. So, and it's okay if you're like, I don't want to answer this, but do you get paid through like brand deals or like just from like your views or your likes? Like, how does that work?
So unfortunately, not living in the US or any other place that pays you for the views, I make zero out of like getting views or following or whatever. So if I just post, it's posting to grow my accounts. But yeah, brand deals and travel, like group trips and stuff like that
Okay.
is yeah.
Yeah. I had some people some people on that lived in Canada and they said that they don't have that the creator fund or whatever where you get money for the likes and the views and stuff and I was like, "What?" Because
I
I don't
know.
know, I think that's crazy.
It's a bit unfair to be honest. Like, I mean, I'm like, I'm working just as hard as this other person trying to get views, but I mean, it also makes it maybe more fun to just create and then having the brand deals and stuff on the side is also cool, but it makes maybe the content being like more. I don't know. I'm like not thinking like, oh my god, I need all these views all the time. It's more like I enjoy this. I like what I'm making. I hope that could help someone, inspire someone, make someone feel good. It's what I'm after, like, and I mean that might be helpful. Not getting like, oh my god, I need to say something crazy. I'm gonna do
Yeah.
something for the views. It's more like I hope someone like this. I hope someone can get inspired, get some help, learn something, whatever. But yeah,
Yeah. I was honestly thinking about that too whenever I had the people on from Canada. I was like, the people that are in Canada or, in different countries, not America, where the Creators Fund is not, it's not there. I bet their content it's just so much more authentic. Like, you know what I mean? And like, of course, people have to post to grow and stuff like that. But yeah, it's like you said, like you guys aren't having to say something crazy to get, a bunch of views to then get money. You know what I mean? I feel like it's y'all's posts are just more authentic, maybe? I don't know.
It would be great because posting like once or twice every day on 2 platforms, it would be great to get some like compensation for like entertaining someone. But I mean, as I said, it's what it is. It's like that for most countries. I mean, it's just very lucky that you guys have it. But yeah, I feel like maybe it helps getting like having the content be more authentic and posting because I want to post on because like
Yeah, exactly. So you get like groups together to travel to different places. So how do you do that? How did you get into it? I know you posted something, I think it was today or it was yesterday, of how you said like people think I'm crazy because I travel with strangers. So I don't know, I just want you to tell me like
yeah.
just everything.
I think it all just started like I obviously post mostly travel content, and then a few like travel agencies reach out and be like, "Oh, do you want to host group trips?" And I'm like, "Oh, what's this? Like, what's up with this group trips?" I'm like, "I don't know." And then so what I do, it's like I advertise trips and then being like, and I'll go on the trip as well and like plan them. So I plan them with the agency, promote them, and then get people to join the trip. And we all just strangers, and then we all meet either at the place or the airport or whatever, and then we do this very cool trips together. Like I just did Panama, and we were island hopping, and we were like in the city. Oh, we did all cool sorts of things, and private island. It was a 10 out of 10 trip, and you end up with 20 new best friends. So it's great.
That is amazing. So travel agencies, do they reach out to you or do you reach out and be like, "Hey, I would love to, whatever, collab with you," or whatever the word is? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, most of them reach out. There's a lot, so I'm like, I'm now like jumping around, seeing the different opportunities I have. But so far, it's been great, and I have 2 more coming up. So one for my Norwegian audience to Africa, Namibia, and super excited. My girlfriend is coming as well. So that's in October, and then I have another one into Guatemala. Um, for everyone, any country. And yeah, 2 weeks hiking a volcano, doing it all. I'm so excited. So it's just a cool way to, if you want to start traveling, to get out there. Maybe you don't have anyone to go with. Maybe you just feel like you don't want to plan anything. It's like the perfect opportunity if you just want to start or if you want to have a break from your own trip, or people do all sorts of things, but it's a 10 out of 10 experience.
So does the travel agency plan the things that you do or do you plan them? Like do you do your research and you're like, "Okay, this is what I want to do," and then you have to like be in communication with the travel agency? Like how does that work?
Depending if maybe some agencies have a whole list. They've done the trips before. They know what works. They don't know what not like what won't work. But sometimes they go, "Oh, where do you want to go? What do you want to do?" So depending, like sometimes I'm like, "I'm super happy with your itinerary. That works for me. That's super awesome. Like we can do that." Or other times I might be like, "Oh, maybe we can do this. Maybe we can go there." You know. So
Gotcha.
it's depending. Yeah.
Yeah. And do they pay for you to go?
And yeah, it is an
That's cool.
yeah,
That is so cool.
it's cool. I love it. And literally last trip it was so great. Like I feel like these people are so open minded and that people actually want to come on this trip with me. It means the world. And it's I mean, I'm always like, oh my god, what if and what if that and what if
Mhm.
this? But everyone was so nice, so open minded, down to do anything. So it just turns out to be like a big family at the end of the
Mhm.
trip, and everyone's like crying, don't want to leave. You know, it's that it's like you feel attached after like 2 weeks together. Like you've done so much. So it's
Wow.
such a cool way to meet people and travel. And yeah, as I said, people sometimes I do it. They're like on a big trip, and they're like, "Oh my god, I don't want to plan. Like I want to do this country, but I don't want to plan it." So they just jump on this trip. Or some people are just like, "Oh, I need to start. Like I want to start traveling, but I have no clue where to start. I don't have a plan." They go on a trip, or they might just don't have anyone to go with because like most people, that's quite unusual to have people who go with really because like I want to do like a 3 months in Latin America. Like, there's like maybe not that many that can go. So it's like a cool way. And a lot of people after the trip also travel together. So yeah,
That's
it's
cute.
really fun.
I love that. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like at the end of the trip, I bet everyone is sad because it's like everyone is building relationships and you meet each other for this trip, but then it's like we're going our separate ways, you know? It's like I can only imagine.
yeah.
Okay, so you told me when we were on the phone, you told me that you and your girlfriend went to Sri Lanka. Is that how you say it? Sri Lanka?
Yeah, that's
Okay. Just making sure. And you guys did not realize that it was illegal to be gay over there.
no, that's also a fun story because we just like we're quite easygoing when it comes to like where we go, what we do. We just like we like traveling, and if we can go to new places, we'll go. So we were just thinking we're in Brazil for Christmas last year, and we're like, oh, where are we going this year? And I'm like, oh, I don't know. What do you want to do? We're like, oh, maybe surf, maybe like the beach, whatever, and then maybe hike. And we're like, oh my god, Sri Lanka looks cool. Like people we follow have been in Sri Lanka. We're like, oh my god. And we found some good tickets. We booked it, and we were like, okay, all set for like 2 months in Sri Lanka. It's like good plan. And then
Wait,
I don't
you're
know.
gonna be in Sri Lanka for 2 months?
Yeah, so we planned for 2 months because we slow travel. So I
Okay.
know people bounce around, but what I like doing is like staying at one place for a long time to avoid like travel burnout or to avoid. It's like better for the environment. It's better for your wallet. It's better for everything. So
Gotcha.
we were like, okay, 2 months in Sri Lanka sounds good. And I don't know how it came about, if we Googled or if someone told us or asked us. And I'm like, oh my god, isn't Sri Lanka like, isn't it illegal to be gay? And we're like, what? Sorry? And they're like, no, I think it's illegal to be gay. Like, I think there's a law. And you're like, holy shit, like, who's asking Chat? Like, someone needs to ask Chat. Chat is like, yep, it might be very illegal. Like, so it's from, they were colonized back in like the 1800s. It was something being, like, same sex, whatever, acts and marriage and everything is illegal. Um, so yeah, we were freaking out. But I visited India with my parents when I was younger, and I was like, oh no, we can make it work. You just say your sisters, you just make up a story. Even though it really fucking sucks. But we were like, okay, we can do it. We booked the tickets. We have traveled before. It's fine. It's fine. So we just like don't even think about it. We go, and it's like, shit. It's like, I don't know, it's illegal. But I'm thinking it's gonna be okay. So we land and we go about our day, and we like just like realize that we can't be touching, we can't be doing it. And that's really strange as well, because that's what you used to do. So you're like, okay, that's kind of hard and it sucks. But we were like, it's gonna be like, we get used to it, it's gonna be fine. So the first week was just awful. Like I was like, I wanna leave ASAP. Like I'm getting messages being like, you have 2 hours to leave my country, and like my DMs. I'm so sorry, because the content that I posted before obviously pops up on people when I move places. It might, you know how it all
Yeah.
works. Anyways, because I didn't post anything there, because I was like, I'm really just gonna be safe. So I was like, I'm not posting anything like that. And then, but people still found old videos and stuff. So I got a few DMs, but I was like, holy shit, I'm leaving now. Like I was awake like a whole night. I could not sleep because I was like, I need to leave. Like someone told me I have 2 hours to leave the country. I was freaking out, and I was like, shit. My girlfriend was like dead asleep. Did I wake her? Did I say that we need to like? What do we do? So we like research like tickets to anywhere. But there's a few countries in Asia that it's also like, in Indonesia as well, it's not legal. Thailand is fine, but we were just trying to find a way out, because we were just like paranoid. We were like thinking everyone was looking. We were thinking everyone just was going to be really, really mean. And I don't know, it was scary. Like I
Well,
never.
and it's not like, sorry to cut you off, but it's not like you're going to like a country that is just like they're just assholes about it. You're going to a country that is straight up illegal. Like it's illegal. Like you can go to jail or whatever they have
Yeah.
if they catch you being gay. You know what I mean? Like it's a whole other extent. Like it's another severity. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think my biggest issue was not knowing. The not knowing of the consequences, the not knowing of like what would people actually do if they find out.
Yeah.
Because yeah, there's one man in my DMs, obviously want me to leave, but what is the consequences of people finding out and the police finding out or whatever? And you can Google and Google and Google and you can shout, you can, oh my God, you can try to figure it out, but there's no straight answer to the question because there's an old law that says it's illegal. And some people say no, but they don't practice it. But there's someone that got arrested that was Sri Lankan for, I don't know, same sex act or something like that. And that was like 2 years ago. I'm reading this article when I can't sleep. So I'm like, what is right? What's wrong? Like, I don't know what to listen to. And I was reading this article like two men going there and they were like saying how like unsafe it was. And I was reading someone else's article saying, oh, it's totally fine, just don't hold hands. And I was like, my mind was about to explode. And I was like, holy shit. But then we traveled somewhere and someone asked us. I was so caught off guard. He was like, are you guys dating? Are you guys together? And I'm like, and as I told you before, I can't lie. I was like, holy fucking shit. Like, he's actually asking me this. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like looking away. I'm like, I'm going to get killed. Or I'm like, I'm going to get arrested. I don't know what's going on now. I'm like freaking out. And he's like, okay, cool. And I'm like, say again? I'm like, and he's like, okay, cool. And I'm like, oh, cool? Like, okay, cool. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm looking at my girlfriend and like, obviously they don't speak Norwegian. So I'm like, he's just asking me if we're dating. And he said it was cool. And she's like, she's also like losing her shit because it's maybe been 2 weeks and we've been constantly anxious and stressed and scared. And not for an actual reason, but more of like the unknown, as I said.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, and then we were still debating going, but we could not find tickets that was cheap or like go to get out of the country. And we had a friend coming to visit us and he was staying for a month. And we were like, if we just could stay here until he comes and we'll see what we do. And he's a man. He's gay as well, but he is a man, so that helped.
Yeah.
So he came and we traveled for another month with him. And it made everything so much easier because everyone thinks, obviously, one of you guys are dating or whatever. And I think I realized it wasn't as bad. I think people actually are okay with it. There's an old law, but I can't say till this day what is actually the consequences or what would happen. But we met a lot of nice people that actually was totally just accepting. So I'm really confused about experience and would maybe do it again, but I learned a lot and I don't know what to say when people ask, oh, should you travel to countries where it's illegal? I'm like, should you? I don't know. It's your own decision and I feel like it might go super well and you might have the best time. You might be stressed out for 2 months. So
Yeah, you might be not being able to go to sleep because you're researching.
well, I mean, it was such a weird experience. Like I've never felt that way before, and I mean, it was a learning curve. Like the 2 first weeks was awful. Like I really wanted to leave, but it ended up being such a great trip. I loved it. I loved the country. And after that one man saying that I needed to leave the country, if not, blah blah blah. After that, I really didn't get any like mean messages at all. I just got love. Like Sri Lankan people are so nice, and they were like loving the content. They were like, my country, I love you guys. You guys are so nice. Thank you for visiting. Like people are actually so nice. So
Yeah, I mean, I get that. It's kind of like America right now, like with everything going on, like with all of like the, transgender rights being taken away and like, gay rights being talked about. Like I bet a lot of people from different countries are like, holy shit, like there's some countries that are literally telling gay people to not come to America because of how bad it is right now. But obviously, I'm in America and I would say that like it is safe to come to
yeah,
America, obviously, but there's certain places that you shouldn't,
yeah,
And so I feel like maybe that's how Sri Lanka is. Maybe there are very conservative parts and conservative people, but it doesn't mean everybody is gonna want you dead or in jail, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it is still scary. I feel like if you guys are planning, not you, but like my listeners, if you're planning on traveling and you look it up and it's illegal, maybe just avoid it. You don't want to risk it.
Yeah, I did a whole video on this because I got a lot of questions because people obviously know that it's illegal and asked me like, how did you guys handle it? How was it? I also met people there that was like, holy shit, I see you post and like, it's like, how is it? And then I was like saying in the video that I'm like, I don't know, I don't want to say do it, don't do it, but I mean, if you could avoid it, like obviously maybe do that
Yeah.
because the feeling of not actually being able to show love and affection for your partner in public is awful. And not because I want to like stick my tongue down my girlfriend's throat every time
But
I
you should be able to do that though.
but I feel like I want to hold her hand. I want to be like affectionate. I want to not be scared. So I mean, like, if we can avoid it, maybe for the sake of the trip, feeling like less like a lot of effort and being scared. I mean, I wouldn't do it again, maybe because
Yeah.
showing like love for my girlfriend is more important than visiting a crazy country. So I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, there's pros and cons to it. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, I don't think I'd be able to not touch my girlfriend and like love on her for 2 months. Like that's I don't know, I wouldn't be able to do that. I also hear that Sri Lanka is extremely cheap. So I
I
feel like a lot of the younger crowd or just people in general that aren't wanting to like drop a ton of money on a vacation, that's where they go. So I feel like it's like I get it, and Sri Lanka looks beautiful, you know what I mean? So I understand why people do go, but
yeah.
caution if you are
And
a
I feel like I
little.
saw other gay people as well, but obviously it's like you just gotta guess because no one's touching each other. Everyone's like high five. It's like maybe, but yeah, it was interesting. I learned a lot, and I wouldn't be without it. But I was like, we touched down on like European ground, and we were like, hallelujah, and we like finally like the relief of like just holding hands again was like, whew, like I could like breathe. But apart from that, Sri Lanka is 10 out of 10. Would recommend if
Okay.
you maybe if you're single or you don't, you're not gay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's my
Where is a place that you've traveled to that you were like, this is amazing. I don't have to worry about, people giving me dirty looks. You weren't scared for your safety.
yeah. 100% Brazil. Brazil will always be on top of my list. I might be biased because, family, girlfriend, everything. But I mean, walking the streets of Rio, as I said, no one's gonna look at you. They don't care. They like everyone's so open minded and supportive and accepting. So I love that. And basically all of South America, because I did 6 months last year in South America, and I really never felt unsafe for that reason. I mean, I got robbed. I can say that. Like, my phone got stolen, my camera got stolen, like all of that. But that's like
Yeah.
that's another feeling safe kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, for being gay and having like traveling with my partner, Brazil is amazing, amazing. And I did not get robbed in Brazil. It was Chile, so
You're like, so Brazil is good.
Brazil is perfect. Like I love it. But I mean, saying that, I mean, maybe have a Brazilian half Brazilian girlfriend because I don't speak Portuguese. And people don't speak English,
Oh,
so
they
I'm
don't Brazil, they don't speak English that well, or they don't?
they really don't. Like you're really lucky. Like we couldn't find an Airbnb in Rio, and we're on the street in Rio with backpacks, and you don't want to do that because obviously if someone want to rob you, they'd be like, "Oh my god, two girls with a backpack, that looks like an easy
Mhm.
easy target." So we were freaking out because I was like, "Holy shit!" And the guy that owned the Airbnb would not pick up the phone. He would not respond, and he sent me the wrong address. He sent me the wrong address, so I was looking for 5 hours for this Airbnb, stuck in Rio. And I was looking for someone that spoke English because my girlfriend obviously was speaking Portuguese, asking, "Can you find this place? Can you find this place?" So she was kind of tired of asking everyone. So I was like, "Trying to find a person that spoke English so I could ask." There was no one. There was one guy. They had to find him. They had to go and collect this guy that spoke English. It was that bad. And he's like coming down and he's like, I speak English. I'm like, oh my God, you do? He's like, yeah, I can help you. And I was like, okay, so for 5 hours looking for this one Airbnb, we met one person that spoke English in Rio.
So you found the Airbnb though?
No, the guy answered and he was like, I'm sorry, I sent you the wrong address. And I was like, you're shitting me. You sent me the wrong address. I've been on the street in Rio for 5 hours. And you just, because you sent me the wrong address, I was looking in the wrong street.
Oh my God. That's insane. That's crazy.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, Brazil, 10 out of 10, gay friendly, safe if you're cautious and we're not in a budget area. But learn some Portuguese or make a friend or partner that speaks Portuguese.
Yeah. Okay, amazing. All right, I have one more question and then we're gonna jump into the hot take, okay?
Yeah.
So when we were on the phone, you were talking about how you like to surf, you like to ski, you like to run, you kind of just like to do anything adventurous. So did you grow up being like super active, or was this like kind of something you picked up like later on in life?
Oh, yeah, no. My mom, since I was literally like one, she's from on skis, she's done everything. She's insanely active. Like, she's drives to work, she skis, she's just like a power woman. So, all credits to her for me being very active and loving it. Both my moms are just like, they love hiking, the outdoors, any nature things. Both my moms are 60, and mom just called me the other day and she was like, oh, I just ran 16K just because I blah, blah, blah. And like, I'm like, last year you hated running. And she's like, yeah, I don't know. I just picked it up. I'm like, okay, mom. So to be honest, she's, I don't know, stronger than me. They're so good. So I'm like, all credit to them. So yeah, I adore like anything adventurous or just like sports in general. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. Your mom, she's a badass. Or you said one of your moms or both of them picked up running?
One of them, because but they're both really active. But mom, just like, she's been hating running since I was like, because we always used to work out together, and we still do. And as I said, she's still stronger than me. But yeah, but yeah, she's like always. I'm like, mom, do you want to go for a run? But she's like, no, I want to ski. I want to bike. I want to do something else. And then last year, she's like, no, I might just like pick up running. And now she's like a crazy runner. So I'm like, I mean, it inspires me to be like, you can do whatever. You can start something new when you're 60, or you can start something new tomorrow. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Good for her. Okay, so we're at the end where we're gonna give each other a hot take.
I feel like it should be normalized to be like, just say, oh, I just met this person, instead of being like, oh.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, no, sorry that I said it. I wouldn't have said it if I wouldn't have known. But no, it is so true though. Like, and I know we kind of talked about it earlier, but like it really is true. And it's unfortunate that people feel the need to do it, but it really, I hope that we get to a point in life where we don't have to come out. We can just like what you said, you used such a good example. It's like, if I were to come out and say, not come out, but if I were to tell someone like, I'm dating a man, no one feels the need to have to make a big deal about it, because it's normal. But if you're dating a girl and you are a girl, it's like this thing where we feel the need to have to talk about it or to come out, because it's not normalized as much as we hope it would be.
Yeah, and I 100% feel like, as we talked about earlier, like 100% if you need to for whatever reason, or you don't need, or like, I mean, there's obviously different things that makes you need to come out or whatever, but I wish for everyone to be able to be like, I'm just seeing this girl and it's amazing, and no one being like, oh my god, are you gay? Like, being like, okay, that's totally normal. Like, I wouldn't care less if there was a man who's I don't know what it is, and also I think that's a big thing for me, because I always grew up with being like, I met people and I would go about like, oh, I'm Kaisa, blah blah blah, we would hang out, we would be friends, and then suddenly I'd be like, oh yeah, it would come up, or they would meet my parents and they'd be like, oh, you have two moms, you didn't tell me. I was like, but what does that, like, how does that matter to you? Like,
Yeah.
they're still my parents, and like, the people would be offended, being like, you didn't tell me, like, I thought we were friends. And I'm like, I'm still your friend, but I have two moms, and it doesn't really matter. Like, at one point, I used to be like, I don't want to be like, hi, I'm Kaisa, I have two moms.
Yeah.
That would be weird if you said, oh, I'm Lisa and I have a mom and a dad, and people would be like, oh, why would you say that?
Yeah.
So that, it stems from that, being like, I just want people to be, I want it to be normalized so people could just like go about their day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
It's amazing to be gay though. I'm not
And
saying.
you said, and like, correct me if I was wrong, but you said whenever you were younger, people were kind of like questioning you on having two moms, and it was kind of like the topic of discussion. And you said your mom came to school and did like a Q&A. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
So so hold on, this is amazing. So did the teacher just allow it? Was the teacher like, yeah, she can come in and
I
like,
was quite young. This might be like first grade or whatever, and I don't know, second, I don't know. But I think I was like, at one point, I was like, I'm so fed up. I'm so fed up. Everyone's asking these dumb questions. I don't know what to say. I'm tired. I'm like, no, it's not my grandma. This is my mom. I don't have a dad. I was like, I don't know my dad. Like, it kept going. It would be like so annoying. And I was like, I was like, I was saying that to mom, and she was like, what if I just pull up at school? We both pull up at school, and everyone can be annoying to us and have like a full hour of going at us with like the most silly questions, because kids are kids, and that's allowed. And it's better now because kids are more informed, and like, it's better taught in school. It's like, it's more normalized. But obviously, back like 20 or like, I don't know, 15 years ago, it wasn't that normalized. So I mean, I just really needed mom to be like, go there. Like, everyone just like let all their thoughts out, ask whatever they wanted to ask. So yeah, it was pretty cool. Like, I think mom just like thought of it, and she was like asking the teacher, and they were like, okay, cool, let's do it.
that's
Yeah.
amazing. And the reason why I'm like talking, like I brought this up, is because I'm a kindergarten teacher here,
Oh,
and the topic of gay people at all just cannot be talked about. Like, it's like in America, it's like we cannot talk about it. And the thought of like your situation happening at my school, or like at any school in America, like that wouldn't be able to happen. Like,
yeah.
but I think it's amazing that the school district that you went to, and the teacher, like, they were open about it. I like, that's unheard of in America. So I think that's
Yeah.
amazing that your parents were able to come in and kind of let the kids know, like, this is normal. Like, some people don't have dads, and it's okay. Like, obviously, most people here probably have a mom and a dad, but then there's also people where families look different. Like, I think that's amazing. I think that's
Yeah.
amazing.
It's, I mean, I'm so proud of my parents now for being the best supporters and understanding, because I mean, it's hard for them as well, but obviously. And I also met lots of kids that was in the same situation, but it wasn't obviously normal at all. So just being able to be like, and I mean, I love kids for being kids, for being
Yeah.
curious, for asking. But I mean, for another kid, that might be really fucking annoying when you just don't want to play, you want to have fun, and you don't want to talk about the dad that doesn't exist, or how your moms are like married and how that works. And I'm like, God knows, I'm 5. I don't know how they I don't know, that's totally normal for me. Like, so yeah, I love them for just doing that, and it made my life so much easier in school, when people just knew and no one like had any more questions. Everyone's like, okay, that's cool.
I
Yeah.
love that. And sorry, I'll get to my hot take, I
Yeah.
swear. Norway is super accepting, right?
Yeah. It is. It obviously has its sides where political parties and people can be not accepting, but most people are, and it's quite normal, and they legalize marriage. My parents actually not legally married and legally partners.
Oh,
They can now get legally married, but I don't know when that law changed. But it's accepting. It's what I'm
okay.
trying to say. But as any country, it's like every day it
Yeah.
gets more accepted.
Yeah, there's still those groups of people that are hateful that cause, yeah. Yeah, I get it. I get it.
It's
Okay. So my hot take
Yeah.
is at least in America, like I'm saying that I'm not trying to sound ignorant, but I really don't know if this is a hot take like in other countries.
Yeah.
But at least in America, queer dating isn't a scene, it's a circle. So what I mean by that is I feel like the queer community and like queer groups, they don't care if they are dating someone that their best friend dated like a couple months ago. Like it is so normalized here in America that like I don't know, it's normalized that if you were dating someone and that person dated your best friend, like it's not like a weird thing for them. And I think that's odd because if I am dating someone and I know my best friend was romantic with my partner, I'd be like absolutely no way, but I also understand people's brains they work differently, but for me absolutely not. Like I don't want to date someone if my best friend was romantic or even if one of my friends was romantic. You know what I mean? Like I don't know, it's just not for me.
I get what you say, and I feel like the reason might be, especially in the gay community, that's there's less options. So
100%.
cycling would be suddenly a thing, and I've seen it live and I've seen it happen. But I totally agree with you. I'm like, that grosses me out. I can't do that. Like I feel like that needs to be separate. Like I don't like that people are just like at each other. But yeah, I mean I've heard and seen it lots
Yeah.
of times. And I'm like, that's so weird to me. And like friend groups being like, we all know each other because we all slept together or whatever. It's just like really weird. But I mean, I get it 'cause the options might be running out some places, small places, but I mean, still, I think it's necessary.
It's like I understand the options are limited in the LGBTQIA plus community, but I'm also like I'm still not going to allow myself to do that because you know,
Yeah, I just agree with you. Like, I think I get it, as you said, but I'm gonna take a step back and be like, not for me, not for me at all.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yep, exactly. It's not, people can do what they want to do,
I
but
was
not
gonna say
for me.
I'm accepting of whatever you want to do, as long as it's not for me.
Exactly. Exactly. Yep. I love everyone. Do what you want to do, but not me. Not me. Thank
Not
you. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for coming on. I know you have a busy life. Today's Easter. You just had Easter lunch. It looked amazing. I'm jealous. But yeah, I just want to thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me. It was so great. Love it.
Good. I'm happy you had a good time. If you want to drop your socials, you totally can. Let people know where to find the travel groups, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So my Instagram is at Kaisa Sande. It's you can probably maybe it's in the
Yeah.
caption. Please. Yeah. Whatever. Yeah, it's hard to spell. And my TikTok is the same with an underscore, and everything is linked in bio, as we say. Quite annoying, but the link tree you can find all my trips, all my travel guides, and yeah, my DMs are always open if you have any questions. Or yeah, I love talking to all my followers. So yeah,
So definitely shoot her a DM, follow her, check out her group trips, just do all of it.
that's right.
Yes. Okay, so for my listeners, I post every Wednesday. I have some cool people coming on, so definitely stay tuned, and I will talk to you guys later. All right, bye.